Here. Hi again, Ian Dainty here, and welcome to Toronto. Well, today I want to talk to you about value, and more importantly, what I call a unique value proposition. A number of years ago, a fellow by the name of Rosser Reeves invented the thing called the unique selling proposition. And I don't like the word selling. I've changed it to unique value proposition. Don't get me wrong, we all have to sell. But I like the word value as opposed to selling. Selling's an internal thing based on my company or your company, where value is what you bring to your clients and customers. So I like the word unique value proposition. Now, it's also very difficult to get the word unique, but we all need a value proposition, and that's what I want to talk about today. A lot of people have asked me, now, how do you get a value proposition, never mind a unique one? Many people still sell features. Let me give you a list of features and stop me when you hear one. I mean, we hear that all the time from salespeople. Or they jump in as soon as they hear an issue. Oh, I can fix that issue, without really getting to the real nub of the problems and what's the most important issue. But today I want to talk about value because it's very important. As Vince Lombardi once said, winning isn't the only thing, or winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Value is that. Value isn't everything. It is the only thing you want to bring to your clients. But in order to understand how we get value, how do we explain value to our clients, let's look at it from what we bring to a corporation through our products and services. So why do corporate people buy? Well, they want products and services that will help them do two things. It will help them do their job better, and it will solve problems or issues for them. And that's really what they want. Now, solving problems and issues is obviously a big one that everybody goes after, but a lot of people omit the fact that you've got to help people do their jobs better. They're interrelated, there's absolutely no doubt about that. But if some people don't realize they have an issue, and therefore you can say, here, I can help you do your job better. So let's look at 5 areas where clients and prospects can buy from you. What 5 areas you can do. And these 5 areas are improved performance, increased opportunities, competitive advantage, risk mitigation, and personal wins. And we'll just look at each of these briefly. Improved performance means an increase in revenue or profits, a decrease in expenses, or an improvement in productivity. I think we've all talked about those before. And if you can get one of those, or 2 or 3 of all of those in anything you're doing, as an example, obviously, when I help people with their sales and marketing, I'm helping them get an increase in revenue, and along with that, hopefully an increase in profits. Increased opportunities means how can you help them develop maybe new products or new markets, or get into a new business, or even help them expand their own business. So that's increased opportunities that you're going to bring to your clients and prospects. The third thing is competitive advantage. And you can bring a competitive advantage by showing how your products can give them a differentiation, how they can lower their costs of their production and services, or how they can break into niche markets, depending on what competitive advantage you can give them. And then, of course, there's risk mitigation. Now, risk mitigation can be broken up really into 2 areas. One is, if you're selling a software product, it's going to disrupt the way they're doing business right now. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So how do you mitigate that risk? How do you say to people, although there's going to be a disruption, down the road you're going to get great productivity. So you're bringing in that improved performance part of it too. There's also the legal and government regulations. As an example, a few years ago, a rule called Sarbanes-Oxley was brought in, where the CEO and CFO had to sign off on all their financial statements, and if they found something wrong with them, like in the Enron case where the CFO and CEO were cheating, then they could go to jail. So that's another part of risk mitigation that you can talk to. And obviously, if you're in the legal profession or the accounting profession, there's probably all kinds of things you can take to a CEO or CFO and say, here's how we can help you mitigate risk. But again, if you sell a software product or you have a service that maybe can do that, then of course that's important too. The 5th one I want to talk about are personal wins. Now, these are the hardest to get at, And I have a thing called the GAIN plan, which would allow you to get at a GAIM plan. And the GAIN plan stands for goals, afflictions, impact, and meaning, meaning the meaning of your particular product and services. I'm not going to get into that today, but it is an area that I will talk about in the future. And there's four quadrants where you get personal wins with your client. One is the I win, you lose quadrant, which of course nobody wants, and that'll just end up in just trying to screw your client, put it normally or put it rationally, and of course that way you'll never win. There's the lose-lose quadrant, where I don't know anybody want to end up in that. There's the I lose, you win quadrant, which can be a good thing if you're just starting out. You notice phone companies do that all the time, where they give you all kinds of incentives to join them, and then when you're a client, you don't get anything. And I don't believe in doing, I think a client should get better rates, but just to drag people in is one area that, into your company, one area that you can help develop, and I think something you should do. And of course the last quadrant is I win, you win, which says the client wins and you win too, and you build a partnership on that. And that's of course where you should go. And the GAIN plan, when I introduce it in another video, will help you show you how to develop that. So let's break it down then into two areas where you want to, where you can help your client. One is corporate results, the other is personal wins. We talked about corporate results in improved performance, increased opportunities, competitive advantage, and risk mitigation. So corporate results are the impact your product or services has on the corporation, the business of your customer, not on him personally necessarily, but on the corporation. Results are usually tangible, measurable, and quantifiable, okay? And the results are corporate. Personal wins, these are the fulfillment of a promise made to oneself by your client. You're the actual person of your client, and of course in a corporate environment, there could be up to 4 types of people or groups that you have to sell to, so you have to get a personal win for each one of them. Wins are usually not tangible or quantifiable, and wins are personal. Okay, so that's what you want to bring to people. That'll help you get a value proposition for your clients. The other key to this too is because corporate results are measurable and quantifiable, you should try and bring some sort of a quantity, whether it be a solid dollar thing or a percentage. I like to bring in percentages, how you help somebody gain a 5% gain depending on the size of their client base, or maybe help triple their client base, which I did with a customer recently. So bring value to your clients from a corporate standpoint and from a personal standpoint, and you're going to get a lot more business than you ever thought of before. Thanks very much. And